Welcome to ISM News Report, and today we are talking about modern conflict.
What kind of modern conflict are we talking about?
Today we are going to talk about the Syrian Civil War or Syrian conflict that happened on March 15, 2011.
First, we will explain the causes of the Civil War. Before the Civil War began, Syrians were complaining about high unemployment and a lack of political freedom under President Bashar al-Assad, who succeeded his father, Hafez, after he died in 2000.
Also, Tunisia and Egypt toppled their president, which was called the Arab Spring. And when the Syrians heard the news, they also wanted to topple their president, so they started protesting.
Then the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad wants to stop the protesting, so he used powerful troops like soldiers, police, military officers, and other violent forces to stop the protest against the government.
Local people started protesting after 15 school children were arrested and tortured for writing anti-government graffiti on the wall. The government responded angrily and opened fire on the protesters.
Many people were also complaining of the lack of freedom under the government. The Syrian government and President Bashar al-Assad responded by responding to the protest by killing hundreds of demonstrators.
Economic troubles are also the reason why the protests in Syria are protesting. Now we're going to move on to the effects.
The people that live in Syria have to move because there is a war, and if you don't move, you will be affected by the war.
More than half of the population has been displaced from their homes, and 45,000 Syrians were also killed from the civil war. There are also millions of refugees that are finding a new home somewhere else instead of Syria. More than 400,000 people have been registered as refugees.
The death toll is not confirmed yet, but the deadliest single day of Syrian civil war was estimated to have seen 397 Syrians killed.
Other countries got involved in the conflict: Russia, USA, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq, and Jordan. At least 6.1 million normal people were forced to flee their homes, while another 5.6 million people have fled to other countries.
Turkey and Lebanon has taken more than 1 million of Syrians. The Syrian government, backed by Russia's aircraft, launched a major offensive against rebels in the region of Ghouta, east of the capital of Damascus. The act is very rude because they are harming their own people on purpose.
According to the United Nations, it will cost at least $250 billion to rebuild Syria. Since we explained the effects of the Syrian Civil War, we'll move on to the current situation of the Civil War.
The current situation is that there is a civil war happening in Syria that started from 2011.
There are many rebel groups, including ISIS, fighting against the government.
Countries like Russia support the government,
while other countries like the US, Turkey, Saudi Arabia supports the rebels.
ISIS took over large parts of Syria, where they were able to gain land and power.
Even though ISIS lost control of many lands, the fighting still continues in Syria.
After years of conflict, it turned into a full-scale civil war.
While both Assad and the rebels group is being supported by other countries, ISIS is fighting the war by themselves.
Although the United States is involved in the Syrian Civil War, the United States doesn't support on-ground troops. They only use airstrikes to attack. On-ground troops, they are supported by other countries.
Now let's move on to the solution for the Civil War.
One solution that can be solved and finish this deadly civil war is that right now the three main groups is controlling some part of Syria, so they can just make new borderline and create 3 new countries.
Another solution for the Syrian Civil War is that both sides, rebels and the Syrian government, needs to sign a long-lasting agreement of peace without any compromises.
And for our last solution, it is destroying any kind of chemical weapons present in Syria.
Reports claim that the Syrian army used chemical weapons against the Syrian rebels.
Therefore, to prevent anything in future, the other countries should do an investigation.
Thanks for watching our news report, and bye.